Now, a group of scientists is claiming there is enough evidence to show that our planet is in a new geological age. They say we are now at the dawn of the Anthropocene. That's an epoch defined by human activity. Now, this chart here shows the division of geologic time dating back 350 million years. We're currently in what's known as the Quaternary period, and the most recent epoch within that is the Holocene, which began 12,000 years ago. But scientists say that around the year 1950, Earth began to change due to new materials we're using and depositing in the land. Here are some examples. Roughly 300 million tons of plastic are produced annually. Microplastic particles are now virtually ubiquitous in our waterways and oceans and will leave fossil records for generations to come. It's also estimated that half of all concrete in existence was made in the past 20 years to support the growth and construction of cities. And in addition, nuclear weapon tests in the 1950s and 60s have left traces of 2 different isotopes that can still be identified today. Scientists are hoping that the international geological body that determines time divisions recognises this Anthropocene epoch this year. Jan Zalashevich is a professor of paleobiology at Leicester University and one of the authors of this study. He joins us from Nottingham in the UK. Great to have you with us. I mean, you believe obviously in this new epoch, and I have to say that the evidence for it is pretty convincing, if not pretty scary.
It's, there is certainly a wide range of evidence that the Earth system has changed substantially, as you said, since about the mid-20th century, and that has left traces in the rock strata now forming, which will be visible for many million years into the future.
If the Anthropocene epoch is formally accepted, what impact might that have? What might then happen? Why do you want it to be accepted?
Well, we are trying to determine how real the phenomenon is. The idea has been suggested for about the past 15 years, and we've been examining the evidence to say whether the Earth really has changed sufficiently to make the Anthropocene possible as a formal unit on the geological timescale. And the evidence we've suggested that the Earth indeed has changed sufficiently. We've changed the course of Earth history and the pattern of strata on the Earth. And while there can be many possible types of reasons for having that, at the moment we're simply being descriptive. We're simply saying that the Earth has changed and the strata have changed too.
Do you think that if there is acceptance of this term, it will finally force people to recognise the impact and therefore perhaps reduce the impact that we have on our planet?
It probably will help in that, because what the term does, it gathers together evidence of a wide range of different changes, most of which are usually examined just by themselves. But in this case, we're looking at the total range of change, and also comparing that to some of the very big changes of the Earth's geological past. So I think that will provide quite a perspective on what humans are doing to the Earth.
Are we talking about a change here to the natural environment or the complete destruction of it? Because if we look at the evidence, the future doesn't look a particularly great place to be in.
Well, certainly some of the types of change we can, say fairly clearly are not good for us and not good for other species. So the habitat destruction, the extinction of species, the widespread types of pollution which are affecting animals and plants everywhere. All of those are things which we are now saying are having not just an environmental but also a geological impact.
Final question, do we have time to turn around and not get into this Anthropocene epoch?
Well, some of the changes are already irreversible. So the changes to the biological fabric of Earth can't be undone. But some of the changes, particularly changes to the Earth's chemistry and its climate, there is still time to either halt those or perhaps even reverse those if we act soon enough.
Okay, Jan Zalashevich, very interesting indeed to speak to you there from Leicester University.
Okay, thank you.